With that down, let's move on to this. Keeping up with the category of movies that got made that we love so much we can't wait for the next one, Rebel Moon. Okay, maybe I'm being a bit facetious. Rebel Moon is a pile of garbage buried under the corpse of a dead moose. I mean, it was just, it's hard for me to imagine things that were worse than Rebel Moon, which quite frankly was really surprising for me. I never thought Rebel Moon looked great, but up until Rebel Moon, there had only ever been one Zack Snyder film that I didn't like. And that was Sucker Punch. That's it. I have liked all the way up to loved every one of his other movies, whether it's, 300, Guardians of the Owls of Gaul, obviously his DC stuff, obviously Man of Steel, which is, I think, the most underrated comic book film of all time. But yeah, make no mistake about it, Rebel Moon is some of the worst, quote unquote, cinematic refuse I have ever had the displeasure of watching.
I'm just glad we get to talk about it some more.
Yeah.
Don't mince words, John. What do you really think?
Get at what you're really thinking about it. Now, that being said, they're supposed to make, Rob, if you recall, Netflix and Zack Snyder were supposed to make this huge cinematic universe out of Rebel Moon, right? They were going to get Rebel Moon 3 and 4 was going to come at some point.
Oh boy.
We were going to get the animated movies and a series and all that kind of stuff. And there are now word going around, according to a report like this in Screen Rant, that suggests Rebel Moon 3 gets uncertain update from Star amid rumors that Zack Snyder's franchise has been canceled and Cancellation. Now, they did talk to one of the actors in it. I forgot which one
Patrick
was
Lewis.
it. No. Yes. Thank you. That's who it was. Patrick Lewis. And he said this when asked about what's the status of Rebel Moon 3. Because remember, Zack Snyder has said we are still going to do Rebel Moon 3. That's what he said. And the actor said, I have not heard any updates. But again, something I would be honored to do. It was such an incredible experience working with Zack. And that's what I hear from every actor who works with him. And that whole cast and crew was one of the best experiences I've had on a set. So I would be thrilled if they brought me back for the next movie or whatever they're doing. But no, I haven't heard anything. Just waiting by the phone. We'll see. I've got to really apply this now. Like, put me in coach. Now, of course, the critic ratings on Rebel Moons were something like 24% and 16%, which is roughly 23% and 15% too much. So I mean, and listen now, the Rebel Moon movies are now, it's a joke in Hollywood. Like it's the punchline to a joke now. So they're talking about the words going around is that maybe it's been canceled. Should they do a Rebel Moon 3? I actually think they should. Now, I know that sounds surprising. John, you're just talking about how Rebel Moons 1 and 2 were complete garbage and crap and, dog innards, and it is. Then why on earth would you say you'd be up for a Rebel Moon 3? The reason I'd be up for a Rebel Moon 3 is because I know Zack Snyder is capable of better. I know Zack Snyder's capable of better. I've liked too many of his other movies. And yeah, hey, listen, Michael Jordan throws up a 3. I've seen Michael Jordan throw an air ball up at 3. Does that mean I don't think he should take another shot? I do, because I know he's capable of making it. And would I be excited for a Rebel Moon 3? No, I wouldn't. I'm not going to lie to you. I would not be excited for it. But I wouldn't think it would be the worst thing in the world if, having heard all the feedback, and I think even Zack Snyder probably understands, I swung and missed. Happens to the best of filmmakers. Happens to the best. That maybe he'd be able to, get back into his office, sit down, lean into the few things they might have done okay, improve on the vast number of things they did terribly, and try to salvage this. Because I'll tell you what, Rob, as bad as the movies are, and they're awful, I can't even put into words how bad they are, but the universe he was kind of creating had potential to be interesting. The mythology of the history of the robotic wars and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He did not do a bad job of creating the sandbox. Just didn't do much with it. And if they were to say he'd do another one, as surprising as it sounds, I'd be down for it to see if he could kind of resuscitate it. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of today's episode, PrizePicks. All right, sports fans, All-Star Weekend is almost here, and if you're not on PrizePicks, you're seriously missing out. It's the easiest and most fun way to turn your basketball knowledge into real money. With over 10 million users already playing, why not you? PrizePicks is a skill-based daily fantasy game. You just pick more or less on player projections. You think Steph Curry's hitting more than 5 threes or Giannis dropping more than 35 points? Make your picks in under 60 seconds, and if you hit, you could win up to 1,000 times your cash. Ann and I have been using PrizePicks on football all year, but now we're switching over to basketball, and we like Jason Tatum getting more than 29 points. And now that Luka Doncic is on the Lakers, I'm going to take over on 8 assists. And the best part is, even if you miss one pick, PrizePicks Flex Play lets you still cash out. And hey, don't forget about Taco Tuesday. Each week, PrizePicks discounts select player projections by up to 25%, giving you even more chances to score big. Download the app today and use the code CAMPEA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use that code CAMPEA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. Run your game. I don't know. What do you think about the comments? Do you think we're going to get a Rebel Moon 3? And maybe more importantly, do you think we should get a Rebel Moon 3?
Well, I can't go with you down that road.
You are going where I cannot follow.
But to be, I appreciate your optimism, and maybe a third movie could be what Jeff, or what the dude would say, the Big Lebowski would say, that maybe the third film will really tie the franchise together. I mean, we did a great Designing Hollywood episode on this show. And we had multiple people, and there was so much great work that was put into this franchise. It's not like you didn't see how much effort went into making these movies, because obviously a lot of effort did. And the movies are certainly beautifully made, and there's a lot of incredible design work. And I think it's just, maybe if Zack Snyder had a writer that he worked with, maybe they could do something. I would always say it's always better to go make something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Why this might be? I mean, it could be the Jaws 3D of the franchise, and that would make Rebel Moons 1 and 2 better.
It'd make them at least seem better.
But yeah, I mean, I look at, like you. I mean, I love Zack Snyder's visual style. You and I have been staunch.
He's a wonderful visual storyteller.
Look, I mean, I've often said the Wagnerian graphics and the design that he brought to Man of Steel and his entire, I like his Man of Steel franchise. I've often said that there's no joy in it. I mean, and people don't quite get what I say. I mean, it's very operatic and grandiose, and I love watching that. But, there's still a jar of pee put on the desk next in front of Holly Hunter. I'm like, that's not cool. But so I would watch
That was Grandma's peach tea, Rob.
It was
yes, Grandma's peach tea.
It's true. But I watched both versions of Rebel Moon. So I've watched Rebel Moon 4 times.
Why?
Dude, I had to see the director's
You know what?
cut.
I got a vasectomy, and I decided, let's do that again. It was so much fun.
And the thing is, if he made Rebel Moon 3, that means there would be the original cut and the director's cut. So
Yep.
I would have to watch 2 more Rebel Moons.
How pathetic was that they tried to recreate the release the Snyder cut thing with the whole, now you got Rebel Moon, now you're going to get Rebel Moon, the director's cut.
Dude, it's like you can't make
fabricated. That's exactly the right word.
You can't set out to make a cult film. You can't set out to do the Snyder cut. It just has to happen organically. And I really wish people would stop coming after me about Zack Snyder's Superman.
I
Every day on my feed and social media, my God, they're at least dedicated.
I just think Man of Steel's the most underrated comic book film of all time. And anyway, guys,
It's a great science
question
fiction
is for you. What do you think about this? The rumors are going around that Rebel Moon 3 has been canceled, but Zack Snyder said, no, I'm going to make it. Maybe they will. And you know what? It may shock you to hear, but I would be down for checking it out because he swung and missed a couple of times, but I really like his stuff.
I have a Rebel Moon action figure.
Which one?
The robot.
It's the one that Ray
It's a
got.
cool design.
I have the robot. I didn't take it out of the box. It's 12 scale, not 6 scale.
Okay.
I don't know why I have it.
Ray
I
gave
bought
it
it
to
for
you.
you. I bought it for you. Remember?
That's
On
what
your
I got
birthday.
from you.
Did
Ray bought it for me.
Because you're a big fan.
That's what.
Because you're a big
But I will tell you.
It was for your 4th watching. You won that. How's your prize?
Commemorate your fourth viewing.
You gave it to me. I forgot where it came from. I'm like, why do I have this?
No give backs. No give
No,
backs.
it's in an esteemed place in my studio.
No regifting. Anyway, guys, question is for you. How would you feel about it? Do you think we're going to get Rebel Moon 3, or do you think they've actually pulled the plug on it? And if they did do it, would you be down for giving it a shot? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.